Whenever I'm charged with a need to make change, to lead, affect change in some way, or whether I'm challenging somebody to do initiative that represents change, that's going to do it for me, there's certain fundamental things you all are going to think they're pedestrian, but they work almost every step of the way. Sometimes in crisis, you have to short-circuit some of them, but one should never take on a challenge without defining what that challenge is. So what is the mission? What am I supposed to accomplish? And the corollary to that is to figure out what's a metric that will allow me to know I'm accomplishing that objective. So if I'm supposed to own the peanut butter market, I can decide, okay, I'm going to own the peanut butter market, I'm going to define that as market share. And so if I'm not increasing Peter Pan's market share, then I'm not accomplishing the objective. So that's a metric, a tool. Another one is accountability. Whenever I charge somebody with something, or whenever I'm charged to do something, I take responsibility for getting it done. I own it. And I insist the reciprocal is if somebody else has a challenge, they need to own it. And if you're leading something and you need help, make sure that everybody owns their responsibility and their part in accomplishing the change. Another one is process. There's always process involved. Understand what the process is. Make sure it's orderly. Make sure it hangs together. And one of the things that I always talk about is before we ever start on anything, have a plan. Have an implementation plan and know where you're going and how you're going to get there. I can promise you two things. One, your plan will be better than if you hadn't thought about it. And number two, which gets back to my learning and adapting mode, I guarantee you the plan you have won't be the one that'll work. So you're going to have to change it. And so you need to have, you can't understand when your plan goes awry if you haven't done one to begin with. And finally, periodic follow-up. So simple. Every week you say, how am I doing? Or how's my team doing? And you ask the team, how are you doing? And is there anything in the way to make it a success? Really simple, basic pedestrian tools, but if you deploy them, they're great to help you advance the ball.